What's good, Jersey Nation? It's your boy, Jersey Boy. We're back with another episode of Madden 20. Excuse me. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Blow the channel up. We're looking to do big things here. But today we'll be breaking down our team after our week 4 bye week. Um, we were able to face the Broncos as well, which things didn't quite fare so well for us. But I want to take this chance just to kind of dive into where we're at after finishing essentially the first quarter of our season. We can start off with our free agents to be. Now, we do have a lot of cap space that should be coming up, and right off the bat, we have someone who he's pretty much held down the fort for our team defense wise. So Avery Williamson here, he's looking for a contract. What was it, in the 22 million range? No. Okay, 22 per year, but 34 total. It's not relatively too. Oh wow, I'm all over the place. 22 over 4 years, which basically breaks down to what? Um, Somewhere between 5 and 7 million per year. Let's take a look at kind of how he's performed so far. So if we take a look at last season and then kind of where we're at this season, relative to where he's kind of been at for his career, um, didn't really hit where he normally does tackle wise. Um, I don't. Madden always has so many like different little issues that they just don't focus on. Like, where are all his stats here? But he was able to pick up 13 last year, and I'm trying to remember if we lost him for any games. No, he played a full slate, so hmm, interesting to see. Okay, well, either way, he's had 13 tackles for loss. He chipped in with a sack. He comes in coverage pretty well for us, all things considered. Um, I don't think yeah, he didn't really have any big plays. He's gotten a touchdown for us this year on a fumble recovery, though. He's already added an interception as well, so you'd have to imagine if the trend keeps going, he'll probably hit about 115, 120 or so tackles. Probably figure about 20 for loss. He might have around 3 sacks again, and then hopefully about 5 or so interceptions. Um, Something to that effect would work. So he's definitely been suitable, but he's getting up there. So he's 28 now. He'll be about 32, 33 by the time his contract is over. Um, we don't really have anything behind him though, so we've been trying to slowly develop Blake Cashman. See what we can do there. We've had CJ Mosley paired with him as well, so we've had a really solid tandem, but nothing to really hold us down longevity wise. So it might be good to go ahead and at least lock one of them down. But CJ Mosley is the one that will have longer term. So I think we might want to go ahead and see if we can put Williamson on the trading block. Grab my charger. Put Williamson on a trading block and see what we can recoup for him now, and that'll help at least boost some of the reps Blake. I can't remember who our fourth string is, but that Blake gets at least, while we see if we can have him serviceable for us in the near future. Cody Whitehair, I definitely want to extend. We are reconstructing our offensive line right now, and getting him under is super critical to us being able to continue to do that. So I still want to find a piece. We lost a really useful left guard in the draft. Got picked right before our second round pick or our third round pick, I believe. But we did pick up two pretty spectacular offensive linemen. Last year he wanted to play hardball. He didn't really want to stick with us. This year around, it seems like he can tell. Once again, the coaching that Curtis Martin has been able to do for the team has been spectacular. Nothing less than legendary for sure, as we've had two really good starts so far. Marcus May is an interesting candidate considering we still have Jamal Adams on the squad. Um, he did have almost 100 tackles last season. He was able to get a sack in there. He didn't get any interceptions, which is a bit concerning considering a lot of defenses could attack us pretty much all over the place. So even with him being in the back, you figured he'd be able to get in, as evidenced by his 11 deflections. No real big plays. He did block a kick. Um, he's looking like he might be taking a step back a bit in 2020 so far. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I think we'll wait until the halfway mark to really make a decision on him. Giovanni Bernard, I'm not going to worry about. Okay, here's the thing with the running back stable right now. So for whatever's going on with the team, we've definitely increased the talent on the offensive line. Is it Hall of Fame status? No, but definitely much more serviceable than 2019 was. Giovanni Bernard has had more success in the limited time we've had him than Le'Veon Bell has pretty much had over the last 2 seasons. So when we sim preseason, Le'Veon Bell looks outstanding. When we're in the actual games, even though we're still essentially simulating them, trash. Like anywhere from 2 to 3 yards average for him when he rushes. I think we want to put Le'Veon Bell on the trade block as well. Move forward with Giovanni Bernard and some of the younger guys we have, and we'll search for a fresh talent in the draft to see what we might be able to plug in for a veteran stalwart for us. So I think we will hang on to him. I just don't know if we want to re-sign him. Carlos Henderson, I'm not worried about. These are really depth pieces. He might be somebody we wait until closer to the end of the season as well, just to kind of see how he's been panning out. He's only had one catch so far. We didn't have him last season. Um, Probably hasn't had many opportunities either. So I mean, it is what it is. Josh Bellamy has to go. I think he actually, if I'm remembering, this is a guy I've seen that he got arrested for what, loan fraud. Eddie Pinheiro. I kind of want to go and get my own kicker, even though he's pretty cheap. We could re-sign him. We'll hold a kicking competition. He's done pretty well for us so far, actually. Chad Thomas depth piece. Probably not really worried about a lot of these guys here. We only brought them in really to kind of keep things balanced on the line. With that said, yeah, he hasn't really had a chance to do anything. Yeah, one down played. Um, with that said, it ended up kind of altering our defense to a 4-3 instead of the normal 3-4 that I like to run anyways. So I don't know. We'll have to make sure we increase our talent on the linebacking core. Yeah, neither of these guys are really getting in at all. So I'm not really worried about either one of them. Figured maybe we could find a piece that has been able to contribute. Cameron Sutton. I believe I got him in free agency during the preseason just to kind of see if he can add anything depth-wise to our team. And it looks like yeah, he's not really getting many plays either. He's getting less than the rookie Brian Hope that we're looking to see developed. I think I want to keep him around potentially. He'll be like, there's nothing I can hang my hat on with him rating wise, but he might be like our measuring line. Like here's the bottom talent wise that we want to go. But I don't, almost 2 million. Yeah, no, I can't do that. We can just sign him again during the preseason if necessary. Not worried about the punter. Josh Caraway. He was a week 4 preseason depth piece signing as well, just to kind of balance things out. And it looks like a lot of those guys actually aren't getting a whole lot of time. 38 plays over 4 games. So you tell me how much they've been able to contribute, and I'll tell you how much money we're willing to pour in. So at this point, I would say not necessary. We might go ahead if he's not getting that many plays anyways and give it to Robert Bannister, who's a hidden development linebacker. He just didn't really have the skills and stuff, so I knew it might take a minute. It might be worth just keeping him down there. He can still kind of develop and get as much of that experience as possible. Still have a chance to kind of pad his stats a bit. Brett Hundley, we're not worried about. I just needed somebody to hold down the fort in case of injury. Mason Cole, I want to kind of keep around though. Don't ask. I know you guys are seeing the stats, and it doesn't look absolutely fantastic, but there was enough to work with. If you take a look at our off-season video, it is very hard to find a serviceable offensive lineman in this game. Um, Speaks to the realism a little bit around the league, but I feel like the ratings are all over the place for quite a number of people, and is really about just finding what is going to mesh best with what I feel like you already have on the team. So Avery Williamson, we're gonna put on the trade block. Marcus May, we will hold on to. We'll wait and see how his stats look later on in the season. Gio, I don't think I'm going to want to re-sign, but we will probably be using him to pretty much stick out the rest of the year for us. Carlos, I'll just wait and see what his end of the year stats end up looking like as well. So let's kind of see how things have actually panned out for us so far. As you can see, 3-1 on this season. And where is it that I'm wanting to go? Oh, so scheme wise, I was really considering things. I wanted to switch it up during this year and kind of see if we can maximize the talent that we picked up. We got Tyreek Hill, huge signing. We went out, we got Jack Barker, amazing young center. We went and got us Gabe Jackson, left tackle, to try to secure things in the middle and on the blind side. Um, and then Quincy Anunua moving down to a number two role. He still put up almost 1,000 with our struggles last year. I figured he'd be able to flourish in that role, which so far he's been having very, very solid games for us. Arguably even better than Tyreek Hill. And I haven't really seen that with the playbook that we had for Oakland. I'm kind of interested to see how things might pan out if we go back to Adam Gase's scheme, and it's sticking basically to what Sam Darnold does best. He's a short pass thrower. We need the offensive line to kind of continue to grow, help him out a bit, because you can tell he panics pretty quickly and things. So we might even end up moving on from him, which at that time we can try to completely switch schemes. But I was looking, and the only other ones that really interest me that don't like completely align with what we had is I don't mind the Rams playbook. Play action, Darnold can definitely do. We still attack the short. He's solid at the intermediate level as well. And of course, we can take our shots deep when we need to. Um, I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. I know it when I see it again. Um, but that's kind of the thinking so far. Uh, I consider Detroit's, but I don't know if this is the scheme or the talent for them now, but they seem like they've been going downhill. Um, I don't want to do 4 game trials either. I know we only gave 4 games for the Oakland playbook to play out, but I felt like we could have done so much more in that time. I think it was the Atlanta playbook. That might have been it. Um, yeah, I'm not really. Russell Wilson's a special player. I love the Seahawks playbook, but I don't think Sam Darnold would be able to run it like I would expect him to. He just doesn't really have the deep um, ability to. I wouldn't even mind. Wow, I wouldn't mind the San Francisco playbook either, or potentially Phillies. Um, Even though I know it mentions that they are going deep, they are hitting the intermediate levels, they should still run a lot. So it's definitely at the bottom tier of it. I think we will. So it's really between ours. It's between Kyle Shanahan's. They have some interesting plays in there. Um, I think we get more variety with the San Francisco scheme, but Sam Darnold should be able to focus more with the Rams scheme. And I think the player schematics kind of or archetypes kind of fit a little bit better with the Rams. You have your speedy player, which I can't remember who had a ridiculous season for them after Flint. Robert Woods. Robert Woods has kind of been playing that role for them for quite a bit. Um, they had Brandon Cooks. You know, I think it might be better to give Sam Darnold less to have to focus on. Um, Let me see this playbook one more time. Yeah, he's quite a bit. I do like some of the formations that we might be able to run out of here. Yeah, okay. We'll give the we'll go with the Shanahan offense. Keep the defense here. This is really just a matter of talent in the linebacking core, which is why we're operating more as a 4-3 at the moment. So we'll see how the next games there play out. We should have a pretty good matchup with the Texans. Something we haven't done in a while. I haven't actually checked out the draft stories. I've just kind of been relying on good old talent and what it is that I think is important in how I draft. So we only have two. We have a draft preview for Iowa State left tackle Matthew Eng. He's finished the season playing really well. We need to keep an eye on him. And then we have somebody who's Mr. Athletic. So the son of an Olympic track star, cornerback Joey Boone is creating a legend of his own. That is great news for us because we definitely need to do quite a bit of reconstructing on the cornerback position as well. But let's just kind of take a look at who's been standing out for us and things so far. So Sam Darnold, 21st in the league, not terrible, but the 5 passing touchdowns are bad. As you can see, Le'Veon Bell not doing that great with the improvements we've made. Jamison Crowder essentially leading the way for us on the team. Um, Offense wise, 30th in the league. Defense is where, again, we are making our bread and butter. So I'm happy to see that they're still doing everything they can to keep us in games. So let's check out the stats real quick. Overall, just over 1100 for Darnold. Completion percentage is pretty decent. Got to get those touchdowns bumped up. Uh, Compared to last year, though, I will take it. Um, Rushing department, Le'Veon Bell leading the way heavily. I still haven't been able to figure out the sliders really to see what's going on with, why we're not getting as many carries for some of the other people. Because you can even see Crowder and Hill, they've been able to chip in a bit more rather than Cannon and Elijah McGuire. So problematic. With that said, though, 2 touchdowns so far. Gio gets in there once, but he's definitely having a more effective use of his touches. Crowder leading the way, but Tyreek Hill has had those explosive plays for us. So when he is getting it, that 17.7 average does definitely matter. And then Quincy Anunua also doing his thing with minimal catches. So Tyreek Hill has definitely brought a different dimension with that speed, though. We've seen it in the very first game. He was able to take a screen and essentially outrun everyone. Chris has essentially been a security blanket for us, which is really nice. So they still have that connection there. And then when we're dumping down with Le'Veon Bell, I like to see a little bit more from him. I don't quite see the elusiveness that I expected. But Jaden Rush is coming along. He's hit for big plays when we have got him. I want to see him contribute just a bit more. But I'm satisfied with things overall, considering he was brought in as more of a blocking tight end for us. On the line, we have at most Jack Barker leading the way with sacks. With that said, keep in mind his right side, both the guard and the tackle are liabilities, so he's having to overcompensate for things like that, but he's still developing. So, we can put his rookie season with an asterisk on it. I'm willing to bet his sophomore year is going to be much better. Gabe Roberson, though, having a very good run at it. It looks like there's only been one play missed by both him and Barker. Chuma Idoga, I'm surprised he doesn't have more sacks overall, and Nico as well, but they've definitely been allowing a lot of pressure. So defense wise, I like to take more of a look at the solo tackles. Lets me know on an individual level how well they're specifically performing. Jamal Adams, Brian Poole leading the way. Again, more members of the secondary kind of leading things here, which still concerning. Avery Williamson there leading the way over CJ Mosley, ironically enough, and it already looks like he has more tackles for loss as well. So it might be a good look to go ahead and look to keep him rather than CJ Mosley potentially. But Quentin Williams quietly having a solid season so far. I don't want to say it's necessarily like a breakout or anything like that, like we would have expected. Leonard Williams getting in there, a few of our other boys. Sack department, Jordan Jenkins with 5 already. I think he's going to shatter his records from last year in terms of the production he produced. I think he had 10 or 10 and a half for us last season. At the quarter mark, already halfway towards that same goal. Williams getting in there 1.5 times. Ja'Kai Polite showing a bit more effectiveness this time around, and then a handful of sacks shared and otherwise just one apiece for some of our other main people. Interception wise, CJ Mosley has been holding down the fort there. Another good person, strong in coverage for us. How old is Mosley? He's also 28, so definitely need to make a decision between the two. Mackenzie Alexander stepping up in that pseudo cornerback one role. Technically, Brian Poole is our most talented cornerback, but we're using him as a starting slot cornerback for us. Williams gets in there as well. Interested for the deflections. CJ Mosley, Brian Poole. Okay. Fumble department. This is where Jamal Adams far and away leads the team every time. He already has 7. He picked up 18 last year. So he's on his way to another ridiculous season. And then we did get at least one blocked punt, I believe it was. I don't know why it isn't showing. I want to say maybe it was Marcus May who had it. I know we had a safety as well from Quentin Williams, and then we've already had one defensive touchdown on that fumble recovery. So things are looking pretty good for us so far. Offense definitely needs to improve. But I would say Curtis Martin already number 23 in the rankings. He has done very well for himself. If it's not a fact that he just hasn't been able to get any hardware or anything just yet, I'd put my, you know, jumping on the table for him to get Coach of the Year because he's done a phenomenal job last year. I believe we had a 6-1 start. This year we're already off to 3-1. So record-wise, he should be improving his team pretty quickly. As you can see, Bills and Patriots tied for division lead for us. We're not far behind, and the Dolphins are once again in the cellar, so things must not have gone too well for them draft-wise. I know they spent a crazy amount of money in free agency. So did the Bills. Patriots a bit more selective with who they were getting, but we're just slightly better than them, but definitely much farther behind in the points department than the Bills and the Patriots. But we are allowing the least amount of points, so it's a good thing to see there from our team. And if we take a look back at the schedule, just kind of seeing who some of our offensive standouts were from game to game, crushed the Patriots in our first meeting. Sam Darnold having a pretty decent game. Looked like a good coming out party for him. 281 and 2. Le'Veon Bell, not the greatest game. Nice chunk play from Tyreek Hill. Quincy Enunwa went off. Tyreek Hill went off again. That long screen play really helped out for us. If we take a look at the next game versus the Bills, this one was a nail biter. We was able to pull it out towards the last half of the game. Sam Darnold not that effective whatsoever for us, but Bell ends up looking like the star running back he should be behind a developing line for him. He gets in there twice for us. And we don't really have much else depth-wise, so again, I'm going to have to tinker around with the slides. Jamison Crowder stands out in this game. Le'Veon Bell gets in there quite a bit. We just weren't able to really get anything going against the defense, which I'm not surprised. They have a really good core. Against the Raiders, again, Sam Darnold looking phenomenal this time around. 312 and 2. I believe this was his most effective game. He was almost as perfect as could be, if I'm recalling correctly. Giovanni Bernard, Le'Veon Bell ends up getting injured early in this one. He picks up the rest of the way, goes 6 for 32 with a touchdown, and then Tyreek Hill ends up having a solid game for us. Quincy Enunwa continuing to excel in his role. Crowder chipping in quite a bit. Herndon being that blanket. Jaden Rush was even able to show off his skills, hitting the seams a bit. Really, really proud of the game that they were able to do. And then the Broncos game comes, and probably our worst offensive outing, all things considered. Sam Darnold, pretty uneven game. Not bad percentage-wise, but it just really felt, I don't know, the flow of our game was off for sure. Nobody could get anything going. Gio potentially could have with more touches, but we were down pretty fast. Crowder almost goes for 100 though, so pretty good, but don't let the number surprise you. A lot of this is in garbage time. Le'Veon Bell gets the only touchdown of the game, so not our best performance, but we'll be looking to bounce back pretty fast. So coming up against the Texans, where we face Deshaun Watson and their hopefully improved team. We'll be looking to continue once again our win streak after being set back by the Denver Broncos. I'm hoping we can beat them in the playoffs, get a bit of payback while I still can remember. Let's go ahead and put some of the players we mentioned on the trade block, see if we can recoup anything for them. We'll have to take a look at our practice squad and see who we can use as some depth replacement pieces. I think we'll keep Mosley just because he has a bit better size, bit more speed to him. He's more agile. Just feel like he'll last effectively a bit more than Avery Williamson maybe. He definitely has a little bit more skill to him. Avery seems to be a bit more effective in the scheme though, for whatever reason. Still unknowing what I want to do with Jamal Adams. Sad to have seen him officially leave the team, but he's been such a beast for us in Madden. I don't know if I'll officially let him go. So hopefully we get something for them next week. I'm trying to think if there is anything else that I planned on trying to check out here. Don't think so. Let's take a look at the sliders real quick, actually. Alright, so I think these are just the skill sliders. Yeah, I want to go to this isn't the right screen I need to be on. I need to go to the auto subs. Maybe formation subs is playing a part in that as well. No, these are just for the players. Okay. Alright, so it's been a while since I've tinkered around with these really, but from what I recall, the higher these are, That means the more often it's going to happen. So with this being at 80 already, not quite sure why Gio and the rest of the running backs can't quite get that many touches. So maybe we need to increase the sub out as well. So let's do 75 and see what that does for us. Um, yeah, hopefully that helps things out, spread things out a bit more evenly. Uh, I don't like as many touches as Bell was getting, even if he was getting effective, because it kind of defeats the purpose of how I set up the running stable. I do like me a power back. Hopefully they have a bit of wiggle, but if not, then I have my other elusives. Two elusive running backs, essentially, one power back, and then I like a receiving threat. So if I can find one that does all three really well, excellent, but that's kind of the way I like to craft things there. But with that said, guys, that is our quarter analysis. Once again, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Can't wait to produce a lot of more great content for you guys. Just created a Twitch as well, so you'll find that in the channel banner. Hopefully I'll be looking to stream some things pretty soon. Been a bit busy with the sun and everything, and work and all that getting crazy. But appreciate you guys for watching, sticking things out with me. With that said, it's your boy Jersey Boy. I'm out. Peace.